So I go on daily walks with God. Actually, you might be able to see, this is my beautiful deck. I'm so thankful for it. But I walk all the way down there. There's just like a stunning walk. Oh, did you guys see the sunset? Wait. Look at that. Anyway, I go on daily walks with God and we talk, and that's kind of how I get a lot of my connection time with God, and time that I spend with God is through these daily walks. I mean, I talk to God all the time. Like when I wake up in the morning, when I go to bed, he's just like always there. We're always talking. But I go on daily walks to intentionally set aside time to just process things with God and go over like my fears and my triggers. And this morning I woke up and I had this really strong fear of failure. I really was like, oh my gosh, what if I'm a failure? What if I'm not enough? What if I'm a fake? Sometimes I struggle with that. What if like I don't meet my goals? That's what I really realized when I was walking and talking with God, is that I had really high expectations of myself that were maybe a little ridiculous and like kind of unnecessary expectations, but because I have such big dreams, sometimes I can put a lot of pressure on myself to like meet them and get them done. And then I have really high expectations of myself, and then when I don't meet them, I start to beat myself up and say things or think things like you're a failure. So I woke up with those voices in my head this morning. Also, it's kind of vulnerable for me to share this, but I felt like I needed to share this because I feel like it's for somebody. So here goes. Anyway, I woke up with those voices in my head today, and it just like, I couldn't shake it. And so I was like, I have to go walk and talk with God and talk to him about this. So, and it felt like usually as soon as I start walking and talking to God, it shifts, but it felt like this time it was a lot more of like I kept kind of reinforcing the idea, no, but I am a failure. And it was like, I just couldn't get out of it. It was like, it felt like, no, but this is true. Here's all the reasons why. Here are the experiences recently in my life that back up why I'm not a failure, because I didn't do this on time, because of this, I didn't make this happen, because I didn't wake up on this day in time, because I didn't do, just like a lot of self-judgment, of course, and shame. I'm adjusting myself. So that happened this morning, and I was just like finding all the reasons why it was true in my life. And then suddenly because I just kept thinking, if I did these things differently, then I wouldn't be a failure, right? It's like, I'm obviously a success if I do the right thing, and I'm a failure if I do the wrong thing. So then I was like, well, maybe talking to God, talking to myself, maybe I need to redefine what it looks like to be a success. Maybe it's just a success that like I'm walking and talking with God this morning, you know, but that didn't really seem to help. Anyway, these are like this is my inner world coming out a little bit. So then I was walking and talking some more. I just kept walking, just kept talking to God. And suddenly I realized, you know what, if I don't do anything differently, even if I am a failure, I still love me. I still choose to love me, and I can still love me no matter what. There's lint on my shirt. Okay. I still love me, and I can still choose to love me. And so I just started saying out loud to myself, out of all the over all of the things and all of the places that I felt like I was a failure, all the things that I felt sort of like shame over, like I should have, you know, shame and judgment. I just said to myself, I will not withhold love from you. I will not, oh, make me tear up. I will not withhold love from you. I will not withhold love from you, because I realized that's what I had been doing in the places that I felt like I messed up. I had suddenly withdrawn love from myself instead of extending love to myself. And that's the thing, in the things and places that you think you're not good enough, that you think that you are a failure, you think that you're ashamed of, you only get there because you've withheld love from yourself. So the answer and the like antidote to it is always to give love to yourself. But of course, sometimes it's really difficult to do, even to realize that that's what we need to do, right? So I just walked and I said out loud to myself over all the things that I felt kind of bad about, that I hadn't gotten done this week, that I felt like I was a failure about. I just said, I will not withhold love from you. 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 And I loved on those places. And I said, Alyssa, if you don't ever get out of bed, I love you and you are worth it to me, and I choose you. Alyssa, if you don't ever get anything done, if you don't ever get anything crossed off your to-do list, I love you. I think you're incredible, and I choose you, and you're worth it to me. And I just picked out all those things that I was feeling so critical about myself over, and I said, I love you. You don't ever have to change to get love. And it was like, all of a sudden I was like, I don't have to change to get loved. I am loved. I'm worth it. It was like my internal world shifted, and I didn't care anymore if I was a failure. It just like wasn't a thing anymore, because I felt loved. And I think part of my fear of failure was that if I fail, I won't get love, right? Because that was true about me in that moment, that I wasn't giving myself love if I didn't do what I thought that I needed to do, if I failed. But then when my heart got love, when I decided, nope, I will love you no matter what you do, even if you fail, I choose to love you, then it felt like the failure thing didn't stick. It didn't really matter anymore if I was a failure or not, because I got love. So I wasn't afraid of being a failure. It was like, oh, I can do this, I cannot do it. I can try it, and it can mess up or whatever, but I'm still getting the love I need. So love is always the answer. Love is always the antidote. I hope I'm using that word correctly. Love is always the medicine that we need. If you choose to withhold love from yourself and shame yourself, you'll always stay stuck in a negative cycle and a really terrible pattern. But like, if you give yourself the love that you need, that's what's going to pull you out of it. That's always going to transform you. It's always going to make a difference. Give yourself love. And on top of that, as soon as I gave myself love and I said, I will not withhold love from you, I choose to love you, it was like instantly God came in, God's voice came in, and he just goes, you're perfect in every way to me. It was so beautiful. I was like, I am perfect in every way. Like, I'm perfect in every way to God. And I want to speak that over you today. You are perfect in every way to God. No matter where you feel like you've messed up, no matter any place that you feel like you're a failure, no matter anything you feel ashamed of, you are perfect in every way to God. And you are not worth withholding love from ever, 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 ever. You are worthy of love no matter what. There's nothing you can do that would disqualify you from love. You are a magical, beautiful human being. And I love you, and I wish you the best today, and I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope if there's anything you're ashamed of and feel like you're a failure over, that you hear God say, you're perfect in every way to me, and that you can say to yourself, I will not withhold love from you. Because as soon as you choose to let love in, then God can come in. God's love can come in and love you in that place. Let love in today, guys. You're so worth it. You're so worth it. You're so incredible. Have a good day.